Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to another great edition of Awesomecallstrading.com. I want to welcome you to our great recap webinar for the next 15, 18 minutes. I'll do this really quick. It is now about 12:05 on the West Coast. I am AJ Trader 7. 7 is my lucky number, and that is why I'm called AJ Trader 7, the real AJ. I am one of the moderators in this great chat room called Awesomecallstrading.com. I trade with a bunch of great traders in here, new beginners, seasoned veterans. Trade with some of the great mods, the Janny Moore, the Dave, the Trader, Dark Side, Fire, B Trades, phenomenal, Palmer, Raphael, and I surround myself with really great traders every day. And I really enjoy what I do, and more importantly, as others are now copying over and over. I really, I'm the coach. I'm the coach. You know, I don't consider myself a mentor. Yes, I've been trading a long time, day trading. I do understand where the stocks are going to go and how they're going to go and why they're going to go. But I'm more of a coach and an educator. I love to educate a trader why a stock is going to move a certain direction. And I believe it's really important to educate a trader to teach them the fundamentals of not just where the dark sides and the fires and the Jannies teach the technical side of the trading. I like to I like to take it beyond that and show a trader why the stock is going to move. The more of the why behind the move before the technical analysis are applied to it. And I think that's really vital to a trader because when you're day trading stocks, and understand what that means when you're day trading stocks, that means every day you're coming in and you're trading the market. And a lot of, it's funny out there. And I know a lot of you don't understand this, but there are a lot of people out there in the world, in our world today, that don't even know we do this for a living. They don't even know you could do this. Do you know that? There's so many people out there. Have you ever gone out and said, people go, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" "Oh, I'm a day trader." "What's that?" I'll give you 9 out of 10 times people will say that. "What's that?" What do you mean? What do you do? Isn't that gambling? It's like, wow. Oh, I've never heard of a thing. Or then they'll say things like, I know when you have conversations with people never day traded before, they'll go, "Is that the stock market?" "Yeah, yeah." "You could do that? You could trade?" "Yeah, yeah." You know what day trading is? You know what it really comes down to? If you know the move, before it even happens, and you invest in that stock before it even moves, whether it goes up or down, guess what? You can make a living. You can make a living. Do you understand? You don't have to have a job. This is your job. You don't have to go work for someone anymore for the rest of your life. I'm serious. As God is my witness. Okay? You don't have to work for anybody but yourself because the opportunity is right in front of you. How do you get to a level where you can do that? Study. Be in the right environment. There's so many different environments out there. There's so many different chat rooms. So many. Everybody's opening them up left and right. You've got hundreds to pick from. And most of them trade almost the same identical way. It's very rare. It's very rare you come across a room that will actually educate you the move before the stock even moves. And I'm not talking predict. I'm talking fundamentally wise where the stock will go and why. Okay? And in Awesome Calls, we take pride in that. I mean, that's what we do. We do the homework. All of us, not just me, all of us. You know, we do the homework. We come in, we write down a plan, you know, from a $2 stock all the way to a $300-400 stock. We write a plan down. All right. And then we want to execute that plan because you have to be able, when you are a day trader, every day you have to wake up to some sort of a plan. I call ours the game plan for today. What are we going to trade today, AJ? Well, I picked these stocks because I feel like we can have a really good move here. Great. But what I do that for the room is I spend hours in the morning combing through what we call gap up and gap down, stocks that are up $2 or $3, news, no news, whatever, and gap down, stocks that are down 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $10. Then I have to look at the market. I was talking to a good friend in here, Steve B. He said, what I love about you for the last 4 years of being in your room is you have such a feel of the market. Like you understand the market. When you look up and see the Dow down 50, you know how to trade the market at that moment. Doesn't matter all the news, all the events, you'll know how to trade that market. Yeah, he said that's the word. He's in the room right now. You have a good intuition and interpretation of how to trade the market. And that's really essential to putting my list together every morning for every great member in here. And I feel that if you spend $6 a day to be in here, I want to deliver the very best product to you. All right. I want to be on the mic for you. I want to coach you. I want to help you. I want to teach you. I never want to stop, you know? Even when you leave and go on to another room and quit and get frustrated because you're not getting it and you say, this doesn't work for me. Maybe day trading doesn't work for me. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop being me. I'm going to keep teaching because every day there's tons of new people that are trying this. And once in a while, I get lucky and I get new people that have never done day trading before, and then they land in here. And you know what I find? Those are the ones that end up down the road becoming something great because they learned from here. They learned the actually proper way, the fundamental way to understand through the news and understand the stock. And I think that is what we do really well in Awesome Calls. This is what will always separate us, is because all of us have really worked hard to get to this position where you can actually come in, take a look at a note, and be able to execute on that note and know what to do with it. And when a new trader comes in, he sees these notes, he's lost, but then these webinars that we do every day allow the trader to look at the notes, go back to the chart, listen to the webinar, and educate themselves. I feel like these webinars could be sold daily on the market, but it's not. I want to do them because I want you to know that, yes, these trades have already been executed. We've already made good money on them. A lot of us have fat bank accounts today because of these great notes, but a lot of you aren't in our room yet. You're still struggling. You're still trying to get a game plan, and maybe you're kind of bored with your mentor or whatever you call that person who's taking your money. Maybe he's just that person. He or she is just not providing enough information for you to learn from, and that happens. You know. Now there is we always want to think that there's the greatest chat room in the world. I always feel, and I'm very biased, that I feel like Awesome Calls Trading is it. I think every trader should be in this room. But that's not the world we live in. There are some traders that don't want to learn this. They want to just be handheld and smacked around and told when to buy and when to sell. Then there are the sheep that just want to lose their bank accounts, be a part of a club. And then there's others that, get the art. What's sad is they'll get the same trades 20 minutes later because we've already traded them. And so they'll just copy and paste our notes and put them in their room. And that's pretty sad because those people end up getting, you know, bad fills. We're in here, we're already executing. Some of these traders in here, it's remarkable, are done within the first 5 to 15 to 20 minutes of the day. And if you know what to look for, it, it could be due. So I'm going to share with you about 5 or 6 different trades that really did pretty good this morning. First of all, let's talk about our OLTK swing. Everyone knows that Awesome Calls Trading picked this on Thursday afternoon. The stock was sitting at $1.11, and it was gapping up only 20 cents. The buy was about 118, 119, and 120 pre-market with about a 25 cent risk. I told everyone the stock a couple days ago on Friday would hit 250, possibly to 275. Today the stock hit $3.35. It's been a really great win. And this, like I was saying over the weekend, when you trade analyst calls, and analysts are really essential to your part of way of making a living. Now, How is that important? Well, think about it. What if you were in a room that really preached what an analyst can do for a stock? Now, what if you really were in a room and the trader said, "Hey, this is a big. I mean, you have no risk here. You could buy 5, 10, 12, 6, 4, 3,000 shares and just trade it out for a couple days. Let it play itself out." Okay? This is a tier one analyst taking a $1 stock and telling you it's worth 12. That means you're going to get about $2 or $3 on the stock. I mean, that's the reality of it. And I want you to look in 1, 2, 3 days. The stock hit 335 today. So if you had taken 5,000 shares, you got 200% return on your money. 200%. Do you understand that? You can't get that in a checking account. You can't get a 200% return on your money working for someone. Nobody's going to give you a 200% raise. But see, that's the beauty of what we do for a living. We're day traders. We predicted the movement of the stock and where it would go before it went because we did our homework. We did our research and we determined that Oppenheimer was a tier one analyst. And because of that, we believed in what the analyst was saying and we took $1 stock and walked it to 3. That is a 200% return on your money. Okay. This morning, the stock was gapping up even more so. So I predicted the stock would probably I kind of knew the stock was going to pop right at the open to 315 or more and then scale in short. And I wanted to take it down to about 245. Ended up stopping around 264 and then grind it out. And you could see another fresh buyer just came in with 1,000,005 shares just recently, which is telling me that the stock probably ends up going even a little bit higher. In reality, I don't think the stock goes more than $3.5, $4 a share, and that's it. All right, because they do have news. It's for next year, 2021, I think it was. So it's a really good move now. It's a short-term move, but I think in the end, once it caps at 350, maybe 395, I think we're done with it. It's not one of these things that are going to squeeze and go to 100. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so that was a really good one. I also want to give you another swing idea that I gave. This one I gave, I believe, 10 days ago on the 25th. This was a Goldman call. Again, analyst, an analyst call, where if you cannot trade, you cannot come in all the time. You're under PTD rules, and you just need that one trade that you can hold for a couple days, or you just don't have the time because you're working, you have to go to school. Other things are really important. That's where swing trading comes in. Again, that's where an analyst call comes in. So I want you to look at this call. Okay. On the 25th, right here, you see it? The stock was sitting at $30. It had gapped up right here. You see the gap up? See how it gapped up here in pre-market to 32? This was an upgrade, an analyst upgrade. Okay. And so if you look, and I'll show you the upgrade, how it was caught. All right. Go 20 days out. Right, and then hit the stock MTCO, and you'll see it. And we caught it right here on the 26th, right there, right? And it is Goldman Sachs upgrades to buy. Okay, Goldman Sachs upgrades to buy from $25 a share to 55. The current price on the stock is $29.80. You see that? You see the beauty of being in a great room where the coach finds you that and says, this is a swing trade. I see this going to 34, 35, 36 the next couple days, coming days, whatever, by calls. I'm telling you, I'm sharing with you what I have found. I'm sharing with you my 16 years of day trading. This is going to move. This is a great call. All right. It's going to have fun. And not only that, um, I believe also right here, I'm looking for it. I was trying to see if there was another Jeffries. Was it Jeffries or Citi? raised it. No, he raised it. No, he was talking about it. Anyway, so good morning, Mr. Purdue. So good afternoon. So what we were doing is we went off of this. I liked it. So I told every trader in Awesome Calls Trading, I said, you know what? Take the call. The stock's going to pull down about $30, 30, 50. Go long and swing it. Okay? So here's your swing. So you went here, right? And we swung the stock. And this morning we woke up and it was sitting at 38 a share. That's $8 a share. Now, the news was it was up thin. So it's not like a lot of people could have cashed out. Let's be realistic. However, the stock was gapping up. And the reason why it gapped up this morning, as you can see, it closed at 33 and was gapping up to 35, 36, and then even hit 38 on thin volume. Well, at the opening bell, I told the traders in the great chat room, the stock is going to pop to 37 at the open, and then it's going to come down to 33.25, and it's going to gap fill. See the gap fill? That's where it closed. Here's the gap fill. I want to gap fill, which means I want to bring the stock all the way back down, come to where it is, bottom curl it, and go long again. Okay? So basically profit taking is going to kick in. So I put it in writing. I came over here and I said, right here, Matco gapping up. It's going to hit 37 at the open, and when it does, it's going to come to 33.25. All you have to do is execute. So come over here. There's the 37 at the open, right there. And then here's 33.25. Now, only a true professional day trader who does this day and night, who lives and breathes stocks, can show you this to educate you. What does this mean to you? Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. Not only did I give you an 8-point swing trade, I also gave you an opportunity to make another couple thousand just by shorting the stock. That's the beauty of your room you're in. That's what makes Awesome Calls Trading so great. Here's another one. AMAT. Now, AMAT was getting hurt because Light cut its guidance. All right. So we have stocks in our room called all-day faders. And a lot of you don't trade these because, one, your mod, coach, teacher, professor, whatever you want to call them, mentor, will not trade these kind of plays. They have no interest in them. They don't want you to understand them. They don't want you to know. That's not what they do. A lot of them won't trade stocks like this. It's too complicated. Everybody wants to keep things simple. I don't believe that in Awesome Calls Trading. I believe the more complicated it gets, the more you're going to learn, because then this becomes not even complicated. That's how I look at it. Think about it for a second. If I keep feeding your brain and your brain keeps rotating information in and out, pretty soon this doesn't become hard. It becomes intuitive. You have an intuitive mind. Oh, it's going to pop here and fade all day. Oh, okay. How do you know that? Well, because I traded these kind of stocks before. And see, your mindset changes, your confidence builds, and voila, you're part of Awesome Calls Trading. So what happened today? Simple. The stock was gapping down this morning. See it? It closed up here at $42.70. So it pulled on thin volume, right? And it gapped down. Now, based on the information that I saw from Light, I felt AMAT would pop, gap fill, because it was thin, and then fade all day long. I even gave you price targets. So you ready? Here we go. This was our number 3rd pick in the room. So already, pick 1, you made money. Pick 2, you made money. Pick 3, let's continue. Pick 3, I said long it here. Long. I did not say short the open. I never said the word short. Long. Why? Because you have to gap fill. Gap fill first, then we short it. If the stock pulled to 40, don't worry. Add on it. Okay? I know that's a tough one, because a lot of you are going to be waiting. Well, no, I don't want to buy it yet. I want to wait till it comes down to 40. No, stop. Get your feet wet. Buy 50, 100 shares. Why? Because the stock is going to bounce back above 42. I already know that. You don't. So I have to explain it to you. Look for the gap fill. It will go up through 42. Every morning, the great Janny comes in the room. He's such an amazing trader. He makes traders a lot of money in pre-market in the room. And he always he says this every time before he leaves the mic when I come in. He says, read the notes carefully. And I never really caught that, you know? He did it again this morning. He's like, read the notes carefully. I'm like, of course they're going to read it carefully. But I didn't really catch it until it really hit me today when I was on break. I was like, that's what he's saying. If you read the notes carefully, you'll see the play visualized in AJ's head. Read it carefully and let the trade come to you. He says it every time. And I get it. Because if I was a new trader, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to read it carefully and I'm going to follow what it says. Because a lot of this is just really instructions. Stock's going to do this, then it's going to come down here, and then it's going to do this, and it's going to do this. It's so fun. Okay. So that was that one. I'm going to show you another one. I have to give credit to the great B Trades in the room. I want a chart for him today. I'm telling you, B Trades he's truly a gift to have in our room, and I just love him. And today he found us this one. He saw CANF coming up, and this was basically a stock manipulation type of trade. If you ever wanted to know what stock manipulation looks like, this is what stock manipulation looks like. So some people will avoid it and not want to trade it. Others will, hey, if it's gonna, for us as day traders, we can't get in that. I don't want to trade it because I don't want to contribute to that. It doesn't work that way. You know, the bottom line is the stock's in play. It's gonna move. And what I mean by the manipulation, what I mean is it gets pumped on the market. Um, it starts internally, it gets pumped, and then it starts getting picked up all over from Twitter, Instagram, iHub, all of it. It's getting pumped because CANF needs money. They need money. And the stock is look what the stock does. It's dormant. Look, it just sits there dormant, like barely trades here and there, right? Off of earnings. It needs money. It needs money. And it needs it quick. So what happens? Noise comes out, stock pops. So we take this trade, just like anybody else, and he called it around the $5.50, $6 range. He literally walked it up and stock to 8.50. All right, this was his call right here. It was just a matter of a few minutes. Now, what they did was they consolidated the stock, short trapped it, faked people out to get even more shares in, only for them to call an offering. Now, this is how traders lose their entire accounts. This is the horrible side of day trading. This is the fun side when you're in Awesome Calls Trading, because once it hits B Trades' price targets, we're done. Okay? If you're a short seller in here, you got to be careful because you can get squeezed out, especially if you have size. But then what if you're long, thinking it's going to curl up, and you're one of these traders that are really not educated and you don't understand? And midday afternoons, they've been pulling this crap a lot. I avoid it. I just, I let B run his thing, pop it, drop it. It moves, it halts, whatever. And he nails it. Everybody makes money. He makes money, pays his bills, and then we're done with it. We don't want to worry about what they're going to do later because we just played it along with, we were chasing what everybody else was doing. But this is the reality of it. This is how everyone loses their account. Imagine if you had 3,000 shares, think it'd go back up to 8 because somebody told you. And now you've lost $15,000. That's the sad part of day trading. And now you have to literally go work for McDonald's because you have no more money left. This is like a poster for what not to do other than play it what you can, don't get greedy, and get out. And that's what we do in here. I'm always preaching 50 cents to a dollar. If you can make money on it, get out of it. Done. But it was a great call in the morning. Another stock we did today was NVIDIA. I just want to share this with you. This was your basic understanding how a stock's going to work. Stock was gapping down 4 points from Friday's close, and it was a really fun trade. I made, see how, here's the gap. Here's the gap down. You see it? So if you go 157, you're gapping to 153, almost 152. I told everyone in the room, okay, that the stock was going to open up at the opening bell, and it was going to go to 155 and then short. How do I know that? Again, 16 years of day trading, understanding how the video works, how understanding the stock works, understanding the market condition. It was only down 100. If the market's down 100, I'm going to get a solid pop and then a fade. I'm still going to fade the stock and short it, but before I do that, shorts are going to cover. I also look how many shares have been traded in pre-market, maybe a couple thousand, maybe 4,000 or 5,000, which isn't enough to justify a stock not being pulled all the way down. I simply go and I tell everyone in writing on NVIDIA, traders, NVIDIA, go along here at 152, and on any dip to 150, the stock will go to 155 and look for it to fade back. So I gave you each step of the way what the stock was going to do. All right. Again, stock's going to go 152 to 150. To 155. When it peaks at 155, slow fader. As long as the market stays decently red, it'll fade for the day. You want to see it? Again, ding, 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 ding. 155. Here's the opening bell. There's your long. 152, 155. Bam. 151. Even if it popped again back to 155, slow fader, now 151 again. Pretty fun, huh? I'm going to show you another one. See this TDD? Now this is a moneymaker one. This is so fun. I traded this today. This was a lot of fun. This morning, the stock was gapping down. See it? Because the market was down. See how thin it is? And when I mean thin, it means retail. 100 shares, 100 shares, 100 shares, 200, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. So it's thin, right? So I'm gapping down from 198 all the way down to 193. So I told the entire chat room that the stock is actually going to pull at the open. It's not going to pop. It's going to pull. So when it does, look for the 190, 192 area. If you can get 190 to 192, the stock will reback all the way up through 197 or more. How do I know that? Again, I keep stressing this over and over and over. The more you trade these stocks and understand how they move before they move, the more money you will make. I know this stock is going to want to gap fill and probably even go higher. For me as a trader, I want to take 100, 200 shares. And let me tell you something. 100 shares on TDD, you can make $400 or $500 on 19,000 buying power. If you buy 50 shares, you'll make 200 or 300 if you understand how the stock trades. You have a gap down. You're going to get, because the market is red, 100 points, you're going to get a pull, not a pop. And then you're going to get a bottom curl, and you're going to go along the stock. You want to see how we wrote it? Here we go. TDD. Gapping down 5. I'm going to play this. See my asterisk? I'm going to trade this with you. I want to pull. You see how I indicated this is not going to pop. When you're in this room, you're trading with a coach, a true pro. He's not playing with you. He's telling you. He's screaming at you. Not screaming, but he's coaching you. You want to make $500? Just watch this. Because why? Because he sees the move. He already knows what the stock's going to do before it even hits. Before the market even opens, he can predict it and hit it right on the money. So if he comes down to 190, 192, long it and go to 197. And he's going to play it with you too, right? So what does that mean? Let's say you only had a couple grand to work with. Why couldn't you have bought 197, 198 calls at the open. What's going to stop you making 300% on your money? Why not? The man says it's going to come down to 190. He didn't tell you to long the stock out of the gate. And look what happened. Look what happened. It pulled to 190, 191. And guess where it went? 200 a share. That's 10 points, even if you missed it here or here or here or here or here or here. You still made money. This is Awesome Calls Trading. This is the sole why the room has been open for 6 years, to allow you to make money, true money, real money on great stocks out there. And if you're in the right environment, in the right team, and everyone who wants to see you succeed, these great traders that tweet all day, I mean, these are people that, I mean, just, it's unbelievable. I mean, look at Noel today. Look at Noel's P&L. Nates, Avgo, Tesla, TVIX, OTLF, and S. Every trade green. Right? This is who we are. And all you have to do, just click. Come over here to the notes, and you're in the room. Just click right there, and you're a part of Awesome Calls. 25 for a day, 100 for a week, 197 for a month. Okay? Thank you for joining us. I look forward to trading with you tomorrow. Take care.